Hi, I will give you a brief overview of how to receive messages using the Global Message event system for Unity. In Global Message, you add Unity actions, the so-called receivers, to messages. They get invoked whenever the message is sent. This way, you can create logic that reacts to certain messages. Global Message allows for multiple different workflows to receive messages, so let's get started. Receiving messages using the editor message object reference gives you the most flexibility and control at the same time. It allows you to receive messages from custom scripts while the message type can be selected from within the Unity editor. This enables you to write scripts in a general way and choose the received message type later in the editor according to the specific context. In our example, we implement the most common receiver setup, where reception starts in onEnable and stops in onDisable. First, we have to expose a message type field to the editor. This can be done by declaring it as public. To add a receiver, you have to call the addReceiver method on the editor message object reference. To remove it, call removeReceiver. The passed Unity action is the actual receiver that is invoked whenever the message is sent. In our case, it's the onReceived method that just logs to the console. That's it. Don't forget to assign your editor message object in the inspector. The next workflow is to use the built-in message receiver component. It allows you to receive messages without the need to edit or create code and components. This is especially useful in situations where you just want to augment existing systems with the ability to receive messages without changing their underlying code. In our example, we will use the message receiver component to call a method of another component that is attached to another game object. Start by adding the message receiver component to a game object and select which message to receive. Then add the other component's game object to the onMessageReceived event and select the method you want to call upon reception of the message. Now, while the message receiver component is enabled, it will be triggered whenever the assigned message is sent and in turn will invoke the assigned method. The last workflow is to receive messages via code only. This gives you the most control as editor users cannot interfere. At the same time, your scripts are less flexible because the received message type is hard-coded and cannot be changed easily from the editor. However, this workflow can still be very useful if you do not need the flexibility or cannot use editor features, for example in editor scripting. Again, we implement the most common receiver setup, where reception starts in onEnable and stops in onDisable. To add the receiver, we call the addReceiver method on our message type and supply its own type as generic type parameter. To remove a receiver, call removeReceiver in the same way. So that's it for the overview on receiving messages. Be sure to check out the other Global Message videos or have a look at the documentation for more details. The links are in the description. Have fun using Global Message.